Hey everyone, Marsh from Consequence here. We're going to go over the second boss in the upcoming raid, Mulgoth. On Heroic, and we'll touch on Mythic very briefly, like normal. Um, just going through the basic mechanics real quick. Um, Again, this sheet I might make available later on, but this is kind of our personal sheet. So there's going to be two ads, well, mini bosses really. A Shadow one and a Fire one in P1. You need to tank them separately from each other, and also you need to swap sides to drop stacks, but we'll get there in a second. So you have the shadow ad, and the shadow ad is going to do a AoE thing you need to run out of. You need to do. There's going to be run out circles that you're going to put on the sides of the room. I think those are the two big mechanics for that guy. The fire ad is going to do a meteor soak that's soaked by as many players as possible, even though the tank might be able to solo it, but it's just safer in Heroic just to put people in there. You're also going to have soaking circles on the ground that you need to grab. And you're also, it's going to shoot out lines of fire that you need to dodge that will go across the room, so the shadow side people need to watch that as well. When you're on each side, and I pulled up the raid plan, when you're on each side, you're going to be taking a dot from the mini boss. So you'll have a shadow dot and a fire dot. In heroic difficulty, you can just swap sides because I think it's a 50-yard range. So once you swap, you will drop the stacks over time, and then those stacks, when you get more and more, they'll be ramping up damage on you. So you'll swap sides and you'll drop it. On mythic difficulty, when you swap, you need to touch a player with the other debuff. So what you see here is this is kind of like the mythic strategy that we were using. So like each player would be assigned a marker and a partner. So DPS player 1 and DPS player 2 would, clear at blue. But that's something you would preset before the first pull. Going to the VOD here, so you can see here, just really quick, these are the fire circles that come across, and see how he's dodging it? And he starts in the shadow out here. I don't remember if we swap sides or not in testing. But here are the run out circles. And what you see here is that and these are, I didn't talk about these are just balls that come in, you dodge easy. And you're getting stacks here that go up. There's the detonation, the run out mechanic, more fire circles. Yeah, you see stacks that go up. You have the class 2 target classer standing in the middle and firing both off. They're picking up stacks from both sides. Wasn't really the end of the world in heroic testing. Even in mythic testing, it wasn't that big of a deal. The problem is they're getting mechanics from both sides sometimes, so you can see them dropping stuff in the middle of the room. So let's see if we swap here. Okay, so we do. So this is heroic, so we don't need to touch, and we're swapping. And ideally what happened, he doesn't have timers, is we swapped after the meteor from the fire ad. So the fire ad did a meteor, this thing, and then right after we swapped. So this is the other group doing the meteor now. It looks like we just had the tank soloing it over here for testing purposes. Again, you could probably just pack everyone in there. These are just soaks, 1 per. And that's really the beginning, or that's the phase 1 here. People are taking double stacks in the middle, and it takes a lot of damage. So once one of these hits 50%, or 50%, it will transition. So I can't tell on his frames what the other percent is, but the idea is to push them as close together as possible to 50%. But you can also dodge mechanics by just pushing 1. So it looks like the purple one pushed first, but it was only a 0.5 difference. So now what happens is the boss is going to morph together, and this is going to do another mechanic. So in heroic, probably just stand wherever you want, loose spread out the whole fight, and just kind of zerg down the boss. You're going to drop pools here. In in Mythic, I was kind of playing around with some ideas. I had like a maybe void goes left, fire goes right, maybe just stand still and clear aggressively. There's a few things that can happen here, so I wouldn't worry about Mythic, and these are not the full notes. Um, but what you're going to see here in testing is, and he does a few mechanics. So you're going to have these circles. These are the ones that, on my diagram where we dropped them in the back. So we drop, and then they do these little tornadoes that you need to dodge. Um, that soak there is a group soak. But what we did here is our shaman used a Ankh totem to basically solo it with the tank. This is just an explosion mechanic, just like the shadow ad did in the first phase. And again, see, like he picked up a fire stack. Actually, I think he turtled it and he didn't. Oh no, he's getting stacks. So you can see people gaining stacks here: 4, 3, 5, 3, 6. I believe when you get additional mechanics, you get more stacks, but I actually don't remember. I'd have to confirm that. But anyway, we just take these out, and it's just a repeat of mechanics. So you're gonna get swirls, and it's a soak. Let's see. We're using immunities. We're using immunity soaks here. You can easily do that. You can also pack everyone in. And yeah, that's really the fight. It's kind of a combination of the two mini bosses in one. And you can see here, you get a dot. Every 10 seconds, you lose 1% of your max health. Group soak, that's the thing that we're immuning. These were the drops with the swirls, and this was the soaking circle. So that's really it for this fight. Just some general notes. Obviously, 2-target classes are pretty good on this fight if you can manage the stacks in the correct way, especially on a heroic. You can set immunities for those group soaks if you want. Probably not the end of the world if you have some basic coordination with the healing cooldown. And yeah, other than that, pretty straightforward boss. I really got nothing else to talk about, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.